Welcome back. I'm really glad you could join us today because we have a deep dive lined up for you that honestly reads like a psychological thriller.
It really does. It's pretty intense.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered how easily a person's actual real life professional history could be completely twisted into a weapon of digital violence?
It is a staggering concept, right? We like to think that our resumes, our good deeds, or, our chosen professions are protective shields.
Exactly.
But in the modern digital age, the very things that define us positively can be reverse engineered into something incredibly destructive.
And today, we are looking at a highly intense case study of exactly that phenomenon. We're breaking down the digital defamation of Maria Juliana, who is widely known as Julie.
Right, the Julie case.
We're going to dissect these bizarre and completely unverified kidney scam allegations against her. We'll look at how her former career as a nurse was weaponized
Yeah.
and really uncover the dark mechanics of digital media and political fan bases when it comes to character assassination.
We are essentially pulling back the curtain on the reaction economy. It is this perfect storm of social media algorithms, celebrity politics, and manufactured misinformation.
To guide us through this maze, we're pulling from a really robust stack of sources today. We have a comprehensive forensic report on Tamil digital media character assassination, an article from the Times of India, and translated transcripts from Tamil YouTube channels like News Tamil Glitz and Filmy Beat.
Lots of raw data to sift through.
Yeah, tons of it. Our ultimate mission is to help you understand how this digital machinery works. But before we go a single step further, I need to make a very clear, mandatory disclaimer about the content we are exploring today.
Yes, this is crucial context for anyone listening to understand our approach.
Our sources contain highly politically charged content involving Tamil Nadu political figures and parties. Specifically, we will be discussing actor Vijay, his political party Tamil Vetri Kazhagam, often referred to as PVK, and there are mentions of the DMK party as well. We want to be absolutely 100% clear with you. We are never taking sides here. We do not endorse any of the political viewpoints, the public figures, or the fan behavior mentioned in these sources.
Not at all.
Our job today is strictly and impartially reporting the ideas contained in the original source material. We are here to analyze the digital media phenomenon, nothing more.
Exactly. We are looking at the mechanics of the machinery, and we are emphatically not endorsing the people operating it or the targets of it. It's strictly an analytical lens applied to a modern media crisis.
Okay, let's unpack this. To understand how Julie became the target of an international organ trafficking rumor, we really have to understand her trajectory.
Where she started.
Right. Back in January 2017, she was a celebrated folk hero during the Jallikattu protests. And for those listening who might not be familiar, Jallikattu is a traditional bull taming event in Tamil Nadu, and it carries massive cultural pride.
It's huge.
The protests to protect it were a highly emotional statewide movement. And during these protests at Marina Beach, Julie was front and center.
Yeah, they called her Veera Tamizachi.
Veera Tamizachi, which translates to the brave Tamil woman. She was a young nurse, passionately protesting, and the public absolutely adored her.
Her public equity at that moment was exceptionally positive. She wasn't just a person anymore. She became a symbol of collective cultural pride and grassroots resistance.
Yeah.
But that kind of overnight symbolic equity is incredibly fragile.
Which brings us to the turning point.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after those protests, she went on the first season of the reality show Big Boss Tamil.
Oh, Big Boss.
Yeah, and for anyone who hasn't seen it, Big Boss is a high-pressure, enclosed environment reality show. It is fundamentally designed to fracture people's public personas by creating intense interpersonal conflicts.
It's an emotional pressure cooker.
Going on that show completely drained her positive equity. She went from a beloved cultural hero to a reality TV villain almost overnight.
The forensic report we are looking at describes this phase brilliantly. It states that this reality show stint created a permanent state of vulnerability for her. She accrued what they call negative equity.
Negative equity. I like that term.
Think of it like a completely broken credit score for your reputation. Once your reputation score drops below a certain threshold, the public stops looking at your current actions or your actual merits. They just deny your application to be heard based entirely on your past.
Because she had this negative equity, she became a perennial target.
Exactly. Anytime she takes a social or political stance, her detractors don't engage in a fair debate. The public is already primed to assume the worst about her. And that makes it incredibly easy to revive past controversies or, as we'll see, fabricate entirely new extreme allegations.
So her reputation is already fragile. But how does someone go from being an unpopular reality TV star to being accused of running an international organ trafficking ring?
It's a massive leap.
It's bonkers. Let's look at the core allegation here. A rumor started spreading like wildfire online that Julie was caught on a leaked audio recording. And in this audio, she's supposedly negotiating the sale of a human kidney for 10 lakhs INR.
Which is roughly 12,000 US dollars for context.
Right, a massive sum. And the alleged location for this illicit black market deal was Basant Nagar Beach in Chennai.
That specific detail right there, the beach, is where we need to inject a massive dose of factual reality into this narrative.
Please do.
According to the forensic analysis of this event, there is absolutely zero legal foundation for this claim. Under Indian law, organ trafficking is a severe, non-bailable offense.
Obviously.
If an actual leaked audio clip existed of a public figure negotiating a $12,000 black market kidney sale in a highly public place like Basant Nagar Beach, the institutional response would be deafening.
You would expect police raids, press conferences, the whole 9 yards.
And that lack of response is the smoking gun here. There are no first information reports or FIRs filed against her.
None.
There are no police advisories from the Chennai City Police warning the public. There are no arrest records and no CCTV corroboration from the area. It is a complete fabrication.
It's entirely made up.
In fact, if you step back, it fits perfectly into the framework of classic global urban legends about organ trafficking.
Oh, like the old chain emails.
Exactly. These hoaxes almost always feature a secret backroom deal, a highly specific monetary value to make it sound real, a location that is public yet somehow secluded, and supposedly leaked evidence that mysteriously never actually makes it to a court of law or police station.
I was looking through the sources, trying to figure out why people actually bought into this in the first place, and I saw this article from the Times of India, dated March 30, 2020.
Ah, yes.
At that time, Julie was doing an online Q&A with her fans. Someone asked her why she didn't return to being a nurse. She explained that she was focused on acting, and she specifically called nursing a holy profession that needs full dedication and hard work.
Which is a very respectful answer.
Right. She mentioned that you can't just freelance as a nurse because acting shoots might make you late, and she emphatically stated, "I cannot risk patient's life."
Yeah.
That sounds like a perfectly reasonable, even honorable PR statement. So how on earth did her attackers use that against her?
This is where we see the concept of a plausibility trap. They took her medical background and weaponized it to give this absurd kiddie scam rumor a veneer of believability.
Just because she was a nurse.
To a lay audience scrolling through social media, a nurse possesses the technical knowledge required for organ harvesting. A nurse supposedly has the institutional access to hospitals and patients. The mob subverted her identity entirely.
Wow.
Instead of viewing her as a caregiver who respects her field, they painted her as a medical predator.
They essentially turned her resume into a rap sheet.
That is exactly what they did. They went so far as to take that exact 2020 quote where she said she cannot risk patients' lives and maliciously reinterpreted it.
How do you even reinterpret that?
The rumor mongers spun a narrative that she was retreating from the medical field not because of acting, but because she had been caught in medical scams.
That is incredibly twisted.
They took her reverence for a holy profession and used it to dismantle the very last remnants of her positive pre-Big Boss identity. It's a calculated tactic designed to be incredibly difficult to debunk through simple denials.
Because it targets the intersection of her technical expertise and her moral character.
Precisely.
So we have the rumor and we have the weaponization of her past. But I want to look at the timeline. Why did this specific, highly damaging rumor suddenly gain massive viral traction when it did?
The timing is never an accident.
Right. To answer that, we have to look at the political catalyst. Based on the translated YouTube transcripts we have, this massive explosion of digital retaliation directly connects to a clash she had with the fan base of actor Vijay and his political party, TVK.
Yes.
Can you explain the cultural weight of these fan bases for our listener? Because it's a very specific dynamic.
The socio-political context of South Indian cinema is the engine driving this whole harassment campaign.
Yeah.
In Tamil Nadu, the lines between cinema and politics are heavily blurred.
They kind of merge into one thing.
Exactly. Major actors often transition into massive political figures, and their cinema fan clubs effectively become their grassroots political ground game.
Mm-hmm.
These virtual and physical fan bases are fiercely loyal, highly mobilized, and operate in a hyper-masculine ecosystem. When their idol is critiqued, they don't respond with polite disagreement. They respond with coordinated digital warfare.
And Julie definitely delivered a critique. According to the transcripts, she criticized the speech VJ gave where he was telling a Jallikattu story.
Which is her territory, essentially.
Exactly. She essentially warned him about the people surrounding him and his party. She pointed out that there were minor or unsavory elements among his followers, and she famously warned him on camera, don't turn 50 into 500.
A critique like that, especially coming from a female celebrity who already possesses that negative equity we talked about, was guaranteed to trigger a massive mobilization from those fan clubs.
The retaliation was intense. Julie herself later dubbed these attackers vulgar warriors.
Which is a very apt description.
The initial wave wasn't about debating her political points at all. It was a pure campaign of digital violence. They spread rumors that she had been married 3 times, trying to attack her personal life.
Standard playbook stuff.
Right. They flooded her social media with obscene comments, and they accused her of acting entirely with DMK party backing, claiming she was just a paid proxy looking for cheap publicity.
This follows a very predictable dynamic of digital escalation. You have the provocation, which is her critique. Then you have the mobilization of the fan base. And usually the goal here is to force an apology or a retreat.
Just bully them into silence.
But that leads us to the next phase, which is defiance.
Because she absolutely refused to back down. She posted a very bold reply video directed right back at them. She challenged these trolls directly, saying, if you want revenge, I am at my house or my office. Do what you want to me, but leave the people around me alone.
That is incredibly brave.
And then she pointedly told VJ himself to go read his own comment section, just to see the total lack of respect and safety for women among his supposed political followers.
Her defiance is the pivot point for this entire case study. Because she refused to be silenced by the standard trolling, the obscene comments, and the marriage rumors, her detractors realized the usual playbook wasn't working.
So they escalated.
They deployed the nuclear option.
Resurrecting the kidney scam.
Yes. By painting her as a criminal, a literal member of an organ trafficking mafia, they sought to completely invalidate her political critiques.
It's character assassination on steroids.
And it highlights the deeply gendered nature of digital violence. When a vocal woman challenges the status quo or a powerful male figure, the retaliation rarely addresses the substance of her arguments.
Oh, it just goes straight for the throat.
It goes for complete character assassination, targeting her sexual morality or her professional ethics. The goal of deploying the kidney scam wasn't to seek justice for an actual crime. The goal was to enforce silence in the digital public square by destroying her credibility so thoroughly that no one would ever listen to her political opinions again.
That is a chilling realization. The idea that a digital mob can attempt to silence a political critique by simply inventing a felony out of thin air.
It's terrifying.
But here's the thing. It wouldn't work if the digital ecosystem didn't financially and structurally reward it. I want to spend some real time breaking down what our sources call the reaction economy. Because it wasn't just anonymous trolls pushing this narrative. It was recognizable peers.
This is perhaps the most vital piece of the puzzle for understanding how misinformation goes mainstream. A rumor stays on the fringes of the internet until someone with their own established platform validates it.
Right, and in this case, enter serial actor Arun Rajan.
Huh?
Looking at her YouTube transcripts, Rajan posted what the platform categorizes as an angry speech video, and he directed it squarely at Julie.
He really went after her.
He didn't just critique her attitude towards VJ. He fully legitimized the kidney scam rumor. He asked on camera why she had so much attitude and arrogance, and literally accused her of stealing kidneys from poor people who were struggling for their next meal.
The psychology behind an angry speech video is incredibly potent. When a recognizable peer celebrity like Arun Rajan speaks about an unverified rumor as if it is a settled, known fact, the psychological dynamic for the viewer immediately shifts.
They stop questioning it.
The audience stops questioning the glaring lack of evidence, like the missing police reports. They think, well, if an actor's talking about it this openly on a major channel, there must be fire where there's smoke.
It creates an illusion of consensus.
Exactly. It cross-pollinates audiences. Rajan aligns himself with the dominant, angry TVK fan bases, which wildly boosts his own visibility and engagement metrics. But the ethical consequence is that he is putting a stamp of legitimacy on a baseless criminal claim.
I was looking at the forensic report's breakdown of how the YouTube algorithm specifically fuels this, and it is terrifyingly efficient. We're looking at channels like News Tamil 24/7, Whisperwire, News Tamil Glitz, and Tamil Galata.
The outrage aggregators.
Right. How exactly do they capitalize on this? Walk us through the actual mechanics of how this outrage gets monetized.
It's all about feeding the algorithm exactly what it wants, which is high emotional arousal. These channels aren't necessarily invested in the truth, they are invested in the transaction of attention.
Clicks equal cash.
First, they use incredibly sensational titles and specific linguistic mechanics to bypass YouTube's safety filters while still conveying extreme drama. They'll use terms like kidney mafia and 10 lakhs deal alongside Julie's name. But the most critical component is their use of metadata, specifically hashtags like hashtag FollowPathTheVJ and hashtag TVK.
So they're actively tagging the fan bases they know are already angry.
Precisely. They're automating the harassment process. Let's walk through the exact user journey of a fan to see how this echo chamber is built.
Okay, let's do it.
Imagine a user searching for TVK news because they want to see what VJ's political party is up to. They have no initial interest in Julie, but the YouTube recommendation algorithm sees that search, cross-references it with the trending hashtags, and recognizes that content about this feud is generating massive watch time.
So it serves it up on a silver platter.
It serves that fan the kidney scam video featuring Arun Rajan's angry speech.
And because the fan already has a bias against Julie for critiquing their idol, they are primed to believe the worst.
Exactly. The fan watches it. The video confirms their existing bias, providing a supposed moral justification for their anger. She's not just a critic, she's a criminal.
Wow.
That emotional validation prompts the fan to leave an angry comment, hit the like button, and share the video across WhatsApp groups or Twitter.
Which signals the algorithm that this is highly engaging content, so it pushes it to 10,000 more fans.
It is a perfect self-sustaining and toxic feedback loop. In this reaction economy, the actual truth of the allegation, the fact that there is zero police record of this, becomes entirely secondary.
It doesn't even matter anymore.
What matters to these YouTube channels and to the algorithm itself is that the narrative is high performance. It generates massive views, it sparks furious debate in the comments, and it creates ad revenue. For context, the forensic report notes that older, supposedly truth-telling videos exposing off-camera secrets of Big Boss contestants have historically hit 1.6 million views.
1.6 million views. That is a massive financial incentive to keep the outrage machine running.
The audience has been culturally primed by years of sensational reality TV and algorithmic funneling to believe that a public figure like Julie has a secret, dark, criminal life. The channels supply the narrative, the fans supply the outrage, and the algorithm supplies the distribution.
Synthesizing all of this, what we are looking at with the digital defamation of Maria Juliana is a really sobering, even frightening case study. It proves that in our modern digital public square, the court of public opinion operates without any need for due process, without any requirement for actual evidence, and certainly without the presumption of innocence.
It shows us how a person's actual lived professional history, something as objectively noble as being a nurse, can be culturally flavored, twisted, and weaponized into a digital myth.
Yeah.
And we see how that myth is used as a tactical tool to silence political or social dissent. The narrative of the kidney scam might not be true in a legal sense, but its impact as a tool of social marginalization and psychological violence is very, very real.
It's a heavy realization. We've seen how easily unverified audio rumors and coordinated digital mobs can manufacture a criminal history out of thin air just to enforce silence and punish a critic today.
Which leaves us with a rather profound and frankly alarming thought for you to ponder long after you finish listening today.
I think I know where you're going with this.
This entire character assassination campaign against Julie was built on a supposed leaked audio clip that was never verified and rumors that were amplified by algorithms and angry fan bases. If they can do this much damage today using basic low-tech rumors, what happens tomorrow? What happens when AI deepfakes make fabricated audio clips and manipulated videos completely indistinguishable from reality? When the fake evidence looks and sounds exactly like the real thing in the court of public opinion, how will any of us ever be able to prove our own innocence?
That is something to really think about the next time you see a sensational, unbelievable headline rolling across your feed. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and always, always critically analyze the media you consume. We'll catch you next time.